You know what this is.
KNICKS Rehab.
It's rehab, y'all. Is KAT who he is over the last 11 games, or is KAT who he is last season? Who is he really? That's the big question, because if he is who he is from an 82 game season last, that's great. I don't think anybody, all three of us and anybody in the chat, could say anything bad about the way Karl-Anthony Towns played last year. He was a huge part of why we were so successful. But then you have this lull where you've seen those kind of lulls in Minnesota, right? You know that he's capable of being the guy that was who he was for the last 11 games or 12 or whatever it was, that 10-game stretch. So I'm just asking, was that just a blip? Is that an anomaly? Or like, who is he right now? Because that'll all answer the question of, do we really need to trade him?
I'm kind of not going to answer it in my own way.
Okay.
Because if that's KAT, and we know that's him basically at his worst, 4 shot attempts, this, that, and the third, and we were still rolling. Ooh, what happens when he starts getting rolling? What happens when Mike Brown said he did a couple tweaks and you finally simplify some things for your player, you know, who's not able to communicate? Yo, I want the ball over here, man. I don't like the ball up top of the 3-point line every possession. And, you know, that's what I'm thinking about, all ball. Like, I'm not thinking about a big trade. If they're going to take him off the market like that, if we're going to hold that at face value. Karl-Anthony Towns, we have been asking, has he lost a step? Is this really you? And how do you not understand basketball schemes? What was the last great that we were impressed by Karl-Anthony Towns' game?
That's a great question, because his numbers could be very deceiving. Like, you know, you averaging 22 and 12, whatever it is, double figures. Some of these games, 18 rebounds, 20 rebounds, but that doesn't tell the story. Some of these games we're getting blown out by 30. Some of these games we don't even, there's no lead change. We never was in the lead. So we have to be very careful when we look at a lot of these guys' numbers, including him and including Brunson. Brunson probably still averaging between 26 and 28, but we're playing bad basketball. So I think, Dan Fleet, that was a good question. I'm going to be honest. I think right now, I think what happened last season, I just think he just happened to play good basketball. I think what he is now is who he is. When it's against bad teams, he's going to play well. When it's against good teams that have good defenders, that are dogs, that are tough, that goes deep into the roster, I think that's who KAT is. Like, he's going to be able to always give you 20. He's going to be able to always grab you 11, 12 rebounds. But like Fabian just said, where's that 1 or 2 games where you go, damn, KAT went crazy, and it meant something or against a good team?
Right. I saw in the comments, big shout out to One Shot D. One Shot D was mentioning that right now KAT is currently, from a defensive perspective, the 12th best defensive center in the league right now, per the numbers. But then in the same, like we going in the same sentence, in the same breath, he leads the league in offensive fouls. Leads the league in offensive fouls. So that's cool. Okay, you're not at the bottom, but you middle of the pack in terms of being a rim protector and defense. But then you're also, because guess what, y'all? If y'all didn't realize, offensive fouls are turnovers. The ball goes back to the other team. So it's not like a stoppage in play, and it's a penalty, and the other team gets the basketball. So
where you have the other team gets the ball, where you happen to be middle of the pack at defending them.
So you know what I'm saying, Fabian? Like, yeah. Okay, we could be middle of the pack on defense, but guess what? And somebody else just said in the chat, he averages 3 offensive fouls a game. So that's 3 turnovers off the bat. Right off the bat, 3. Let's not talk about turnovers, bad passes. So he got to get a little more discipline.
And stay there. Sometimes that's 3 offensive fouls in the first quarter or the first half.
Right. So,
and like Fabian alludes to, they can call more if you really want to be honest. If they gave him 10 fouls, he still might foul out. Like, and I'm not trying to troll or be funny, but on the offensive end, he just turned into a guy that can't keep his hands and his feet to himself.
Which is why I
I
think
think
Brunson was wanted to come out and like stop with the hooking and everything like that, because it's like, yo, every offensive possession means way more for the Cats and the Brunsons of the world. You have to be efficient, because if you're not, you're basically you're always on a 3, 4, 5 point swing every single possession when the defense gets when they go back on defense. Flea.
and I mean, if you're turning the ball over at that rate, right, and then you get back on defense and you can't be disciplined on just flat out on the defensive end, right? It's all stuff, in my opinion, it's all stuff that could get cleaned up at the end of the day. It's all stuff that could get cleaned up to the point where it contributes to us being good and winning. Because he was able to, Tibbs was on our neck. And all we did was fight every night. Some nights, we're gonna lose games, but every night we fought. So I just want us to have that fight going forward. If we was fighting every night, we wouldn't be talking about, damn, he's so poor on defense, or we need to make a move, or this or that.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Real quick, just my one time for the night. Mook Dollars, you get one time. You get one time. Everybody here knows that. You get one time, my brother. One time, because I'm a nice guy now. You get one time. If you play with me going forward, then everybody knows what's up. So go ahead, my brothers.
What you just said just had me thinking, right? When you look at our guys, we have a lot of deficiencies, right? Mm-hmm. That causes us a lot of ball games. Of course, we can continue to just stomp on KAT, right? But Brunson makes bad decisions as well, right? Turning the ball over, like defensively, can't stop nothing. Josh Hart turning the ball over, right? Can our guys, do you have faith in them to turn all that stuff around? Because if we can't get better at all of our negatives, then what are we really doing? If KAT can't stop the offensive fouling, if he can't become a decent defender, if Brunson can't become a decent defender and stop some of the bad decisions down the stretch with just turning the ball over, rush shots, bad shot making, bad shot takes, do y'all have faith in them guys being able to turn that around and fix those things? Because if we don't have faith in that, then what are we talking about? Because they do it over and over and over again. How many bad third quarters we have? How many times we're going to go into the half down? How many times are we going to go into the third quarter down double digits? Teams are not allowing us to come back down from 20 no more. So all of these bad habits and negatives that we have, do y'all have faith in any of our guys to turn it around?
I mean, I do. I don't think 2-9 over an 11-game stretch is really who we are. I watched this team. I watched us rant and rave about this team the first 2 months of the season. I watched what we did throughout the playoffs last season. Like, we know what the team is capable of. Again, that's why we're so all over the place with just disappointment in KAT, in Brunson, in this, and that. Why we feel that way is because we expected them to turn this over and run through the Eastern Conference this year. Now we get through a stretch where it's like, damn, we playing real bad basketball, and then you allowing people to get back up off the mat. Like, Philly got a little confidence now. They think they're going to be in the mix. Fabian been talking about them for forever, right? Detroit came back. They had a real issue about losing to us, a serious issue. What did they do? They came back, and now they are running away with the Eastern Conference, right? So all these Boston is, dare I say, overachieving without having one of their best guys, Jalen Brown, MVP candidate, right? So we expected to be head and shoulders better than all those guys. It feels like those teams are playing, have a more sense of urgency than we do. And it's like, yo, we was right there. Championship contention, right there. We can't allow them to get any confidence, especially with us feeling like the Eastern Conference is wide open. So I don't think we're who we are over the last 11 games. And to be honest, this is just all about what I was saying at the beginning of the season. When you get a new coach, you're going to hit some kind of adversity, some type of adversity. It'll happen now. I'd much rather it happen now than it happen in April, May, and June. If it happens then, that's way more disappointing.
I'm going to stick to the wrath that I've been starting in the last week or so. He's been warning us for years. All Ball said something the other day that was that he just he's always brushed it off. He's bugging. He says, "I'm starting to lose faith in Jalen Brunson." It didn't even. Now I started pinballing in my head. Fleet's been saying, "Why does he get a pass? Why does he get a pass? What did he win? Where do you get this confidence from?" I get he's a great player, great scorer, magical, Michael Jordan numbers, great. We ain't win. Why does he get that pass? All Ball TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.